Hello there, time to look back at my 2021 skincare favourites. Another unpredictable year, so I always looked forward to the moments of calm during my morning and evening routine. You can catch up on my 2021 makeup favourites linked below, and a third part with bath and body, hair, hand and lip balm picks is coming soon. My skin type is normal to dry, but more dry since 2020. Everyone's skin and skin type is so different and there are so many variables for each person, so I'm a skincare lover but not an expert. So these are not specific recommendations. I can only share my personal experience and encourage you to do more research. As usual, looks like a lot here, but I'm not using everything every time. I actually keep my steps pretty simple. In the morning, I splash my face with cold water or use a gentle cleanser, then mist, moisturiser and SPF. And at night, I remove my eye makeup, then use a cleanser, mist, serum, moisturiser and face oil. The more infrequent, once or twice a week steps I add in are exfoliation and a cleansing or moisturising mask. I'll also share some tools I've loved playing with and will leave discount codes below for a number of brands in the video. Starting with the most important skincare step of all, sunscreen, an everyday essential for me. Follow those application instructions, apply enough, reapply, don't forget covered clothing, a hat and sunnies too, and find a formula you enjoy using. For me, that's still Ultraviolet Supreme Screen SPF 50+, my favourite Aussie tube that feels light but creamy, gives my skin a healthy, hydrated glow and creates a smooth canvas for makeup. SPFing good news. If you're overseas, you can find the brand on Cult Beauty, Net-a-Porter and Space NK. To protect my body and hands, don't forget them, Ultraviolet wins again. Extreme Screen SPF 50+ has a similar texture to Supreme Screen, but it's slightly thinner so it feels like a body moisturiser, smells coconutty and has very fine shimmer to give your limbs a glowy sheen. Fast forward to my nighttime routine and I always gently remove my eye makeup first. The bottle I've trusted for a decade is Chanelle's Bi-Phase Eye Makeup Remover. Here's one I prepared earlier and a fresh one too. Just shake it up and add a tiny bit to a cotton pad. Even a little splash gently removes eye makeup without a trace and without needing to rub your eyes. If I've put on a bit more face makeup than usual, I'll swipe on some Bioderma before cleansing properly in the shower. This iconic French micellar water works well to remove base makeup or lip products, but I find Chanelle more effective for eyes. Look Fantastic stocks Bioderma, so I'll leave my discount code below. A refreshing morning cleanser and forever favourite evening formula. A new discovery for me, but a famous formula I'm sure many of you've tried. I got into Fresh's Soy Face Cleanser in early 2021. This was a supersized tube for their 30th anniversary last year. I like the gentle gel foam and real cucumber scent like you've just cut some up for a salad. Aven Cleanse Cleansing Gel is yet to be knocked out of Evening Cleanser top spot. This is a much more thorough foaming gel, and even though it's aimed at oily skin and mine is dry, I love it because it really minimises breakouts, but it doesn't dry out or strip my skin. Super clean feel, but comfortable. You'll find Aven on Look Fantastic too, so that code's below. After cleansing and patting my skin dry, I lightly mist to help my serum and moisturiser steps sink in. I went back to basics mid-year. I'll talk about some skin issues I encountered in a minute. So Aven's Thermal Spring Water was a fantastic soothing mist. There are so many thermal spring water sprays in the French pharmacy world, but I love this version so much I bought a bunch of the big one, a great light but even aerosol spray mechanism. Quarterly Beauty Elixir sat on my desk for most of the year, a fancy face mist treat with a huge following, all about the peppermint scent for me for that midday pick-me-up, like you've stepped away from your laptop and popped your head into City Pharma in Paris. Heritage Store Rosewater is another favourite with a lower price tag. Lucky I stocked up on this last time I was in the US. It's been a while now and it's not as easy to find in Australia. A simple rosewater spray with a sweet scent, but it's not sickly, just like rosewater essence or rosewater cupcake icing. A late favourite over summer was IU's Jasmine Facial Mist, an Australian brand known for their scented oils. This has a delightful scent like jasmine tea or walking past a wall of flowering jasmine. So fresh, but not too sweet or artificial. It's made with 100% natural jasmine sandbach water. heaps of hydrating serum action last year. I went through several bottles of both of these. Sand and Skies Tasmanian Spring Water Splash Serum is on the list again. You might have seen the pink clay range from this Australian brand, but I'm all about their Tasmanian Spring Water line. This contains 2 types of hyaluronic acid, spring water from Tassie. It's nice and refreshing, not tacky or sticky, and has a zingy, sweet, citrusy scent. Then Glossier Super Bounce, one of the only Glossier products left in my routine these days. After a number of issues in the past couple of years, diversity, shade ranges, layoffs, launches that didn't wow me, still no international shipping, and other great minimal makeup brands growing, Glossier's grip on my top shelf has certainly slipped, but this lightweight, cooling, silky hydrating serum does still hold up. One of the products I've repurchased most from them, still using up backups from a trip in 2019. Far more new faces in this moisturiser section than usual. Most used morning moisturiser by a mile, by Terry's Hyaluronic Global Face Cream. I'm onto my 4th pot, I think. A light gel cream that creates a soft, smooth base with 8 hyaluronic acids, niacinamide and squalane to keep my skin feeling hydrated. My By Terry partnership wrapped up last year, but I'll be taking this formula with me well into the future. My relationship with Go2's very useful face cream outlasts all others. I've been buying this since the brand launched in 2014. It's been my winter evening moisturiser for many years. It's thicker and creamier than gel creams, but because my skin has been drier during the pandemic, I've stuck to this for many months, even in the morning sometimes. It doesn't feel thick or heavy once you work it in. This next section was all about looking after my skin barrier. My skin isn't sensitive, but it is very sensitive to vitamin C. Even though I'm very careful when applying vitamin C serums, just a few days of overdoing it mid-year made me feel like I was still trying to repair my skin barrier months later. Enter La Roche-Posay Sicoplast Balm B5. This repairing balm was already in my bathroom. I used to reach for it to repair any angry, irritated skin if a spot treatment had been too harsh, but I decided to try applying a light layer all over my face, and it worked wonderfully, still enjoying it to create calm, smooth skin by morning. I also picked up Aven's Skin Recovery Cream when I wanted to swap to a soothing moisturiser during that repair phase, and I loved it so much I'm on my 3rd tube and put it on today. This simple, calming cream has a sort of whipped feel, but it still feels rich too, so it leaves my skin super smooth and makeup sits so nicely on top. One of my favourite new discoveries last year was Fortuna Skin. This minimal range is female-founded, sustainably packaged, wild foraged by farmers on an organic estate in the hills of Sicily. Love the story and their products. A tiny dash of the replenishing balm is more than enough to melt on and cocoon the skin without being too greasy or slippy. I apply this as a final evening skincare step sometimes, but it's also about barrier repair, so I popped it in this section of the video. Next, my favourite category, fabulous face oils. Vintner's Daughter Active Botanical Serum. How long will I love you? This is an oil, despite the serum name, and continues to be a bottle I always want to have on hand, no matter how many others I try. It's the best. Very pricey. I draw the line here. Won't spend any more than this, but I've kept coming back to it since 2018 because it makes my skin look so healthy, keeps it balanced, and does the best job calming breakouts. Another every year favourite is Go2 Face Hero. The fact that this little Aussie bottle is packed with 10 different plant and nut oils, holds its own compared to luxury icons in the industry, but comes in at 1/6 of the price, makes me very happy. Love the light texture and glow it creates. Bit of a heartbreaking favourite because sadly Rodin closed last April. I loved so many of their products and cruelly fell back in love with their luxury face oil last year, so I tracked down as many backups as I could find. My skin used to love their botanical oils, but the Jasmine and Neroli scent was my favourite. On cold winter lockdown walks, I reached for Rodin's luxury face oil stick in Jasmine and Neroli too. Not all over, I just swipe and tap it into my cheeks or forehead to avoid that tight, dry feeling on harsh winter days. A balmy barrier against the wind and cold. Luckily, 2 new finds well and truly made up for that departure. Olverum make the bath oil I'm obsessed with, so I was very excited when they entered the skincare category last year. Their Pure Radiance facial oil with botanical oils and bakuchiol is brilliant. Glowy results, and my skin feels incredibly soft and silky for less than half the price of other luxury bottles. Lovely geranium, lavender and bergamot scent too. Fortuna Skin's Biphase Moisturizing Oil might have won Best Bottle of 2021 for me. Back to Vintner's Daughter level prices, unfortunately, but it is an absolute delight at that luxury face oil level. This mixture of olive oil and olive leaf water means it's a double dose of moisture. Shake it up to mix it, and it has the most heavenly light texture I've ever come across in an oil. It feels more like silky water. So beautiful, sinks in straight away, and my skin just glows. Since I upset my skin barrier, I backed off exfoliants, didn't want to do any more damage, so I just focused on go-to once a week. Their exfoliating swipies are so satisfying. I swipe both sides of this chemical exfoliant pad around my face. The sides are the same, I just get good results using both. Leave the solution on for a minute, then rinse my face following the brand's instructions. My skin always looks brighter and feels seriously soft. 2 returning mask champions and 1 new addition. For hydration, still can't go past Jaleek's Rose Moisturizing Cream Mask. I jumped up to this rich, creamy formula in 2020 when I needed more oomph in the hydrating mask area. It feels plumping and hydrating, but not heavy or greasy. I apply a light layer and actually leave it on for a couple of hours sometimes, then splash it off. My trick is to give yourself a quick face massage. Once it's mostly absorbed, then you can really work it in. My number 1 Charlotte Tilbury skin pick is still her Goddess Skin Clay Mask. My favourite clarifying mask for 2 years running. 10 minutes truly makes me look like I've used an Instagram filter. Everything is smoother, brighter, tighter, but it's not tight as in drying. The Spanish clay, sweet almond oil and frangipani extract definitely doesn't set my face in stone. Go2 launched their first creamy mask last year, the Removalist, in a similar non-drying clay mask category. This is creamy and comfortable too, but a bit more effective at bringing any spots to a head and giving your skin a good clean out. I'm more specific with it as a result, concentrating a light layer around my chin and nose for a 10-minute session. Just be careful with light coloured pyjamas or towels with that colour. Finishing with tools, the cherry on top of my self-care routine. Sarah Chapman's Facial Lift is back. This wishbone stethoscope-looking tool was created by the famous London celebrity facialist to give you a firm facial massage, my favourite. 48 nodules roll along your jaw to release tension. I'll link her tutorial below so you can see the best angle to use it. A much smaller tool, Georgia Louise's Lift and Sculpt Butterfly. Georgia is another celebrity facialist, and the reason I like her rose quartz stone creation is the shape. The angles of the wings really get in there to sculpt my cheeks, jawline and brow bone more than softer gua sha curves. Georgia Louise's famous cryo freeze tools have appeared in a couple of Celebrity Vogue videos. If you've ever put spoons in the freezer to help depuff your eyes, this is a fancy, spherical, sculpting version of that for the whole face. You can actually damage your skin with extreme cold though, so again, being careful of my skin barrier, I personally prefer to keep mine in the fridge and they still feel very fresh on the face. A less intensely cold and more budget-friendly version from Colourpop, the Rose Cooling Facial Globes for the fridge, not the freezer, don't cool down quite as much as the metal, but they still feel nice on the eyes and the little handles make them comfortable, not cold to hold. Colourpop code below. Let me know if you'd be interested in more of a beauty tool breakdown in future. I also met my first LED mask, known to help reduce pigmentation, fine lines, and even out skin tone. Omnilux Contour is the flexible silicone style I got really into. Very straightforward, it turns off automatically after 10 minutes, and I used it 4 to 5 times per week for 4 weeks, as the brand suggests, and still use it for maintenance. Not only do I enjoy the ritual of wearing it, but a few dark splodges I'd hoped to lighten became less noticeable, and smile lines around my eyes softened too. LED masks are investments, but if you already get regular facials, you'll be in front fairly quickly, and I'll leave an Omnilux discount below. That's the lot. Hope you liked this look at the bottles, pots, tubes, and tools in my bathroom. Please tell me about your 2021 routine. I'd love to know if you keep your skincare fairly simple or have a 75-step self-care session. What were the standout products for you last year? Meet you back here for my bath and body, hair, hand, and nail favorites very soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.